to uARFID What You Eat, a channel where we deal with some of the issues that somebody with avoidant restrictive food intake disorder deals with on a daily basis. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be trying out a food, and that food is blueberries. Blueberry, they're so blue and also berries. So I can say right away that I don't really think I have any experience with blueberries. I don't have any memory of ever trying them or eating them. When I see them, I think of like candy that is blue flavored, and I don't tend to like blue flavored candy. Probably not accurate, but I use candy a lot as my reference point for flavors that I don't know. So I guess we'll see if that matches. Appearance-wise, right away, they've got a lot of things going for them that I don't really like. For starters, the size is all over the place. They literally do fluctuate from berry to berry. I've got some little guys here, and I've got some big old large fellows here as well. Some of them have some bruising that has an almost orange color to it. Some of them have a violet shade kind of running through them. Some of them have something of a bruised, crunched in kind of quality. And the part where the stem would have been removed kind of looks like a crater. This one here, for example, you can see these lines running through it, these splits. And there's kind of like a brownish orange color running through that. So visually, they're kind of all over the place. Smell-wise on the outside, they don't really have much of a smell at all, so let's just cut one of these open. Oh, okay. Well, how about that? That is a shock. Actually, I didn't think these were going to be green on the inside. Look at this green inside with like little bits of red running through it, almost like blood. I thought it would be blue the whole way through. That's actually, I'm blown away by that. Wow, I had no idea that's what the inside of a blueberry looked like. That can be a problem for someone like me because I was expecting one thing and now I'm getting this completely different thing on the inside. Still not much of a smell, actually, even when it's cut open. Almost like apple, actually, a little bit. I had an apple a couple episodes ago, and the smell kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Texture-wise, they're kind of funky. They've got this smoothness, but also this wrinkliness to them, and I can feel every single time I push into it that it kind of almost wants to explode in my fingers. So probably very juicy. Texture on the inside, not as juicy as I was expecting, actually. Almost just kind of like this slight wetness to it, but not exploding, which is funny, because when you're squishing on these, they feel like they're going to blow up in your fingers, but just touching it like that, I don't get that sensation. It's more fleshy than I thought it would be. All right, let's give blueberry a taste here. I'm gonna use one of the smaller ones. The big ones are a little too intimidating for me. All right, here we go. Blueberry. Should I take a bite or should I eat the whole thing? Eating the whole thing is scary for me. Something like this, these little berries, even though I felt the inside and saw that it's more fleshy than I thought it would be originally and less juicy, I'm still nervous I'm gonna bite into this and the juice is just gonna explode everywhere. But one way to find out, right? Okay, blueberry. Okay, not bad, but there are some things going on here. When I'm chewing on this, I feel like there's multiple textures happening. I can feel the skin, and I can also feel what seems to be like tiny little seeds on the inside. Flavor-wise, it was pretty harmless, actually. There wasn't a lot of flavor to that. It reminded me of actually a little bit of chewing on an apple, like just a teeny little apple. That's actually not at all what I expected flavor-wise. For some reason, I was thinking blueberry would have a blue color to it, whatever that tastes like. But no, there was nothing blue flavored at all about this, actually. It really just tasted like a tiny little apple. That's fascinating. Don't like looking at it. I shouldn't look too much at the inside here because I can see it like these tiny little seeds that look like they're covered in blood, and it's just the texture change in the flesh. Don't like that. That said though, the mouthfeel actually, surprisingly, besides the fact that the multiple textures were happening, what I can say it had going for it was that it went away just immediately. Maybe it's because it was so small, which was why I prefer small foods a lot of the time. Not as juicy as I thought it was going to be at all. Not nearly as juicy as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the flesh just like kind of got chewed and went away immediately. No problem at all. And let me tell you, when I'm eating a food, especially food I'm not familiar with, going away is exactly what I want it to do. So okay, that's not a bad first start. Let's take a second one. I'm gonna try a slightly larger one now that has more of the orange bruising on the side. It's actually a little more wrinkly too. This one's more concerning the more I look at it. It's almost like this little blue pumpkin. Okay, blueberry number 2. Wow, okay, that's not bad. That is like a little apple. It's like this teeny little baby apple I'm eating. That's really funny. I don't know what I expected this to taste like, but nothing like this. I'm shocked what this tastes like by comparison to what my mind was thinking. It's an interesting case study, actually, for someone like myself, because it demonstrates that you can't just like trust the color when you're looking at something. Because I see this on the outside and I'm like, blueberries, oh no, it's gonna be blue and full of this just really juicy, strong, unfamiliar flavor. But the truth is, when I cut this open and I take a look and it's green on the inside, and I take a bite and it just tastes like a little green apple-y kind of flavor, it just goes to show you gotta like give something a chance before you really pass judgment on it, which is something I'm really bad for. I've had so many bad food experiences, I'm so closed off a lot of the time from wanting to trust new things. Okay, one more, and we're gonna try out the largest one I have here. It's funny, because I look at this, and like, the more I stare at it, my mind's like, you don't want that, you don't want that. But I can testify from just having had it seconds ago that it's not that bad, so my mind needs to just kind of relax on that for a second and accept it for what it is. Yeah, number 3, we had small, we had medium. Let's go with large. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Still not too bad, but not as good as the small ones. I find the larger and fleshier it gets, the mushier the inside becomes. And that's a problem for me. I want it to go away right away, so when it's larger, I'm kind of chewing on it longer and there's more going on, and I can begin to kind of get overwhelmed somewhat. Yeah, the best way I can describe the larger one is just a little bit mushier than the smaller ones. Perhaps the same amount of mush, maybe just more, which is again why myself, I don't really like large portions of things. I like tiny portions, because then I can kind of control what I'm getting. Well, okay, this was interesting actually. All right, I don't know what I expected from a blueberry, but it wasn't what I had today. And what I had today is really not too bad. Not exciting or anything. Like, this wasn't delicious. I'm not like gonna eat a bunch of these blueberries now and be like, so good. But I can tolerate them. At least some. I probably couldn't eat too many of these. Even that third one was starting to get a little bit much for me. The fact I was able to get through 3 of those at all, though, means that there's a little bit of hope for me if I just keep kind of working at these bit by bit. So yeah, blueberries. Overall thoughts. I don't like the appearance. It's not terrible. Like, they're small and kind of inoffensive, but they have just so much inconsistency in them. Just there's dents and there's bruising and there's lines running through it. The dark color kind of throws me off. The way the stem area looks and the fact that the color changes through it, I'm not a fan of. From like orange to violet to blue. Especially when you cut it open further and you get to kind of see that it's actually like a shockingly different color on the inside entirely and has these little seeds and kind of redness running through it in some ways. So yeah, not a winner appearance-wise. Smell-wise, there's not much to report on. It's almost like an apple smell, but very, very, very mild. Texture-wise, I like the smoothness of them, but I don't like that you can feel all the changes, all the bruising and all the bumpiness, and the fact that they feel like they're going to explode in your fingers. That makes me feel like it's like an overwhelming juices hack, so I don't like that texture. It gets me nervous before I'm even taking a bite. But once you do take that bite, it's actually not that bad. Flavor-wise, it's a much milder flavor than I expected. I kind of expected this to taste nothing like anything I've had before. I don't know what I expected, but for some reason I just thought it would have this strong, really distinct bluish flavor to it, and it didn't. No, it actually tasted just like a really, really mild apple. So yeah, blueberries. Not too bad. Would I eat these again? In the right context, I think I could. I don't think I could eat too many of them because even that third one was getting to be a little much for me, but I think I could probably munch on a couple of these. But in this case, today, I have to call this a win. This was better than I thought it would be. A lot better. Not in like a delicious way, but in a very mild, kind of easy to deal with way. And for somebody like myself, who struggles with strong flavors and just intensity in their food, a mild, very light apple-y tasting kind of food that goes down quick, that's not too bad at all. Well, this is uARFID What You Eat. My name is Chris. Thank you for joining me today as we try out blueberries here. And yeah, hopefully we'll catch you back for the next video. Until then, thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.